you kind of go to a dance place now, you know what to expect.
Yeah.
And then our tune's on there.
Yeah.
Fucking heavy as shit. You're like, what am I listening to? But if you're a kid, you're like, you know, if I was an 18-year-old Aussie kid who'd never really heard this music, I'd be like, what the fuck's this, man? You know, your mum's like, turn that shit off, Connor. You know, like, and we've helped to make that tune. I think that's great.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
Hello, I am Example. What a pleasure to be here with all these happy people in this happy place. I've been making music for 20 years. I've been coming to this fine country for about 10 years, gigging, playing festivals and so on. And we find ourselves here today talking about a wonderful song with man like
Moss. What's going on? My name's Moss. And I'm a Waterwrong man, based here, Gadigal land in Sydney. So here at Happy Mag, just to talk about strictly for this new tune that we've made together. And it had some pretty crazy beginnings. I remember we were jamming out in the studio and I pulled up a beat that was like, I want to say 5 years old, 5-year-old demo. And that was the like bass line in Strictly for the verses and stuff. And yeah, you just jumped on it.
It was basically just this
Yeah.
And I think maybe you had a version with like a US rapper on it where you'd taken a sample of someone else's song.
Yeah.
Like he'd taken an acapella of someone and he was like, you do something like this. And I was like, because we were working on another tune which was almost like a two-step UK garage moody thing. Like the best way to describe the song we were working on was like Burial meets Disclosure. No, that song hasn't come out. And as it transpired, the one that is now been released was one where I was just sort of like, I'll just give you a quick something so you can work with.
Yeah.
Not really thinking to, and whenever I don't put much pressure on myself in the studio, singing or rapping, songwriting, and I write the first thing that comes into my head, it's usually gold. And then I gave you this and then you just went away, and before we knew it, we'd forgotten about the other track we were there to work on, and then came back to this guy.
I think it's when it's just like fresh off the dome, kind of like no pressure. It's when the best stuff happens, and it's like the magic comes out and you just bodied it. I had some acapellas like over the top, some random verses or whatever, and then just stripped them back. But
was there a drop on it?
No drop, just a beat. So then I like built it out and was working on it. And I remember we'd spoken a bit about like the state of the music industry and like where all the scene is. And I found this vocal that's like the strictly for the kind of like and the underground and that kind of thing.
There was another sample before.
There was heaps. I went through all these, I went like crate digging through all these old like packs and like vinyl rips from old school vocals and found this one that was what has ended up to be the track. And like, I think this whole song speaks to just like, there's this whole generation that's come through that have no experience for underground music, clubs, raves, festivals. Like, you know, when you're like growing up, like going to festivals becomes like a social thing, like part of your personality, you know? It helps define you. Yeah.
I just find it mad, you know, because I'm like 41 and I'm going to play shows, and there's kids who are 15. There's like people my age, there's people like who's 60, because, you know, I guess they're missing the Prodigy or Faithless, you know. But then there's other people, you know, they just want to come and rave, but there's also this whole new generation. Like I played, I did a sold out show in Scotland in August. Sold 3,500 tickets in a week, and it got in there. Nearly half the crowd was 16. And I'm like, wait, when my biggest songs came out, my calling card songs, you guys were 5. So I guess it's awesome. Like, it's really fun now. Obviously, I'm really happy to be doing what I'm doing in general, but it's really exciting having sections on my show where there's just like pure drum bass, bassline, dubstep, and now I've got my old dubstep hits, you know, from UKF era that had 20 million plays from, you know, with Skream from like 12 years ago, and now I've got this whole new fresh sound with you. Yeah. And you know, it just makes me, it actually makes me feel really fucking lucky to be here as well, and happy to be here. This is going to be in my sets for a long time, which is a great problem to have.
Yeah, not a bad time at all.
Well, on that note, thank you for coming
of course.
in. Happy Mag. Lovely to
thank you for having us.
To see you again.
Yeah. Of course.
Go on, mate.
I'm thinking. Let him cook.
There's no pressure.
I know. Whole room of happy people waiting